Well, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning, 12th of October, and I thought I'd start the week off by replying to some of the discussion that came in. Bumper crop, as a matter of fact, nice one, and rather comprehensive too, compared to some of the other contributions that I've had. Good to see you back from holiday, Jen. Hope you had a great time. There's nothing as depressing as coming back from holiday, I know that. But these are the breaks. Anne-Marie from Guernsey made some great points in her contribution there about, got all the stuff right about raised troponin. You did too, Jen. All sorts of different textbook, different footnote conditions will cause raised troponins. It's one of those things that, as miraculous as a technique it is, it still needs human intelligence to interpret it. You can't just read from the raised troponin levels and draw your conclusions from that. You've got to look at the whole picture. But of course, I'm telling you that, but you know that anyway. Little touch of swine flu creeping in there. Could be another week off for me. When I say another week off, I mean the first week off. I haven't been off at all. I noticed some of the interesting points that you made there, Anne-Marie, about Wigan and stuff like that. In the Mersey region, things have moved on again. I'm sure I've said this in the actual lesson. I can feel another sneeze rattling around up there. The situation's moved on again. Now, if you've got ST elevation MI underway, you get whisked off immediately to the tertiary centre where you'll receive a primary angioplasty. This is a brand new service. You will be hearing in the course from one of the doctors who does this. And this has revolutionised the situation. Absolutely revolutionised the situation. We've gone from having a cutting edge coronary care setup with one of the first thrombolysis nurses in the country. Paula McCartan, the one that you hear me interviewing, is absolutely at the top of her game. But if primary angioplasty is brought in, what exactly is the logic of having a thrombolysis nurse? And the change in the structure of the services that this technique has brought about has meant that serious questions are asked over the role of some, by definition, some very serious staff in Liverpool. I noticed that you give diamorphine for pain over there. My understanding is that in a number of states in America, there is no recognised use for diamorphine. That they think that the morphine does all the pain killing that diamorphine does. And the only thing that diamorphine has that morphine doesn't have is the euphoric effect, and therefore that's not a worthy aim of therapy. Personally speaking, I think that the euphoric effect of diamorphine, the sense that I'm not scared in the way that I once was, is actually something that's incredibly important. Clearly, in some states in America, that's not accepted. Both of you put in your discussion high flow oxygen without mentioning whether or not this person is actually hypoxic. I wonder about the logic of giving a person high flow 100% oxygen. It's my phone going. When high flow oxygen, when the person isn't showing signs of hypoxia by pulse oximetry or whatever. If you put extra oxygen on a person's face and they aren't hypoxic, they are saturating at 99.5%. You are not going to squeeze any more oxygen into that bloodstream unless you're putting it in at high pressure. And there's no one talking about hyperbaric therapy for patients in a coronary care unit. So I wonder about that. Both of you have said it, but I do wonder about it. Guernsey, angioplasty can't be offered in Guernsey because it's a high cost, high skill technique that you don't have the facilities for. And yet my guess is that just over the water there in France, angioplasty is the first order of treatment these days. That's my guess. I wonder why, for instance, you send your patients to Guy's Hospital and St Thomas's and not across the water to arguably one of the best health services in the world. Not that I'm saying anything against Guy's Hospital and St Thomas's, obviously not. St Thomas's was where Florence Nightingale built her first school. After all, these are world-class institutions that we're talking about here. I note from your entry, Jen, that the streptokinase is not even offered in older people as it's generally offered. Even though, and therefore you're giving people drugs even though they may well, in the elderly, have a higher potential for causing stroke. And you never rethrombolise. That's another interesting feature. And yet you will send them for rescue angioplasty. I wonder why then you're not doing angioplasties on everybody. My guess is that if the consultant came in with chest pain on him, they'd want an angioplasty rather than a thrombolytic agent. Timmy flow, yes, well done, Jen. You got that bang on. That's the industry standard for measurement for the opening of arteries. Yeah, absolutely, and you point out exactly correctly that these are used in all of the trials. As for patient information, Jen, yes, some excellent points that you make there. I think this is one of the areas where coronary care units really pay off. They're full of very well informed, very committed staff with high ratio of staff to patients. All of the staff look as though they know and trust each other. They all look as though they have confidence in each other. On most of the coronary care units that I've been on, both as a worker and as a relative, let's not leave that out of the equation. I've had absolute confidence in all of the people that I've met. Knowledgeable, caring, enough of them. They look as though they would put their family members in their unit, and that can't be a higher accolade. That said, there's something very weird about putting a member of your family into what you come to recognise as a system. You lose control. The individual likes and dislikes of your mum or your dad or your relative can't be accommodated by what is effectively a pretty rough and ready system, no matter how good it is. And that sensation of watching your family member disappear off into the system, it can be very disturbing. But well done, everybody. Very well impressed by that this week, and I'll look forward to reading the rest of your submissions in the weeks to come. Don't forget to be in touch with me if you need help on your essay. I am at your disposal, mostly by email. Email is the best way. So speak to you soon, everybody, and keep up the good work. Bye now.